Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Eric. Today I'm going to talk about the sequel to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, which was Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, which was released in 1991. So this film wasn't received too well when it came out. It was usually dismissed as a sequel, but in the decade since, it's been reevaluated as a really underrated movie in the series. And I would agree. It had been a while since I had watched this one, and I was pleasantly surprised at how much better the movie was than from when I watched it the last time, many years ago. So just a little on the plot. So this one picks up a few years after the first film. Bill and Ted are still trying to get their band going, not having much success. Like the first film, we start in the future, and there's a evil guy in the future who wants to go back in time, and not just he wants to actually kill Bill and Ted, send time travelers back. He's built robots, Bill and Ted robots, to go back as replacements, you might say. So this film really, unlike the first one, which was much more of a time travel story and had a lot of fun with that concept, Bogus Journey is more of a metaphysical film where it gets into issues of existence and life and death and the afterlife and all these things. So it goes in a completely different direction. I know on one of the DVD or Blu-ray features, the screenwriter talked about the initial idea was they had to pass an English test. So I guess they were traveling through time and visiting different authors or entering the worlds of different novels, but which sounded like an interesting idea, but going the more metaphysical route worked. And the original title of this one was Bill and Ted Go to Hell. So, and they do in the film, they do get killed. They go to hell where they meet death, played by William Sadler, who really is the secret weapon of this movie. Sadler gives a brilliantly comic performance playing death, clearly riffing off The Seventh Seal, the Ingmar Bergman film, and basically playing the same character, only it moves in a much more comical direction. Like in The Seventh Seal, the characters, or in that film, to escape death, the character has to play him in a game of chess. In Bogus Journey, they're playing board games like Battleship and Clue at one point. So really funny. That stuff holds well. But yeah, Sadler, one of the great comic performances of the decade. I think he really deserved a lot of recognition for this. Really funny. Yeah, but yeah, it's just. It's a much darker film. The comedy is dark, but Bill and Ted are still the same characters. They're just kind of going through these different types of, like I said, more existential. There's sci-fi elements to the film. There's fantastical. There's some horror. There's thriller. There's just so many tones going through this film. And it moves really well. It's only 90 minutes, so it really moves along nicely. And yeah, I think it really holds up well. I know I watched on the Blu-ray making of Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves talked about making the film. Sounded like they had a great time, had fond memories of making a Bogus Journey. So yeah. Seems like it's been a film that's really aged well. And I think it's comparable to other films. I kept thinking of Dogma, the Kevin Smith film. It reminded me of both films coming at it from different perspectives, but both deal with existential themes and even some theological type themes. And George Carlin's in both films too. He returns as Rufus here. He's also in the Kevin Smith film. So yeah. I liked that connection to it. The soundtrack, like the first film, I think Winger appears in the soundtrack. We're still kind of a lot of hair metal on the soundtrack, which is that's fun. Might date the movie a bit, but it is fun. The visuals of it are great. The colors really pop. A lot of imagination went into this film, with some of the nightmare dream type scenes. So just a lot of yeah, visually a great film to look at, and yeah, a really strong sequel to the first film, and going in a much different direction. And I feel like that would happen a lot in this era, where there would be a sequel that tried to do something different. Audiences would reject it or not like it. And I feel like maybe today audiences are a little bit more primed for that, but in the early 90s, I don't know, sequels, I guess it was more, you wanted some of what the first film was. But yeah, I like that they went into a different direction. So a smart film filled with a lot of great imagery, some great humor, and just a really clever take on some existential ideas, and being inspired by an art film, by an Ingmar Bergman film, and kind of turning it into this kind of a pop culture movie. I thought really worked well. The combination worked great. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Let me know if you've watched it lately, what you think of it, and yeah. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later. Have a good one.